This is the Solid Signal podcast for the week of April 19th, 2021. And my friends, I ask you to forgive my sort of radio-toned voice for today. I've got a bit of a frog in my throat and I don't feel like shouting at my normal level. So I'm mumbling a little bit, getting close to the microphone. And if it sounds a little bit like I'm on at 3 o'clock in the morning playing Led Zeppelin tracks or something like that, well, forgive me. I'll be back to full strength next week. This week out, I'm taking a suggestion from a regular reader, and I'm talking about business internet. You know, we haven't really thought too much about the internet service that's been in our offices for, well over a year, because we've all been home. And in a lot of states, we're starting to see people returning to work for the first time. Oh, sure, you'll stop by and maybe clean out your work fridge or make sure that your personal effects are taken home, but we're talking about returning to work, and it's great that we're all able to start to do that. But it means that we should be taking a look at some of those structures that make it possible for us to actually work in the office. You see, I think that it's really amazing that the internet structure in our country really has performed as well as it has in the last year and so. Because our nation's suburban cul-de-sacs were not designed for this much remote work. But internet service providers like AT&T have really stepped up, adding extra capacity where possible so that they could make it possible for us to get through this together. But now we're going back to work. And what maybe seemed like sufficient internet service for work, 2 years ago, might not seem like it today. Even when you return to work, you might be relying on those Zoom meetings, team meetings, Google Meets much more than you used to. You might be talking to people in whole new ways that you weren't expecting to, and that's going to put stress on your office internet. Office-based internet is often less flexible than home-based internet. When you buy home-based internet at home, you're buying a maximum speed, and of course the service provider is hoping that not everybody's going to try to do that at the same time. They try to balance that load, and for the most part, I have to say they've been extremely successful. But most business internet is a dedicated line where there is a fixed amount of bandwidth, usually far less than you have at home. If you've got 50 or 100 megabit internet at home, chances are you had only about 25 megabit internet in the office for everybody. But that was 25 megabits that was reserved just for your company. And so there wasn't the kind of capacity issue that there would be, for example, in a suburban neighborhood. Well, now that we're all returning back to work, that 25 megabit might not seem like quite enough. It certainly isn't going to do a whole lot when you've got 10 people trying to video chat at the same time. And that's going to be a lot more common. So what to do about it? Well, if you're a business owner or an IT manager, now is the time to call Signal Connect. We're your internet partners, and we're able to make sure that you get the upgrade you deserve and get everything taken care of so that when the employees come back, they'll get an internet service that they deserve. It all flows down, you see. We give you great service, you give them great service. That's how it's supposed to work. And now is the time to be getting fast internet, 100 megabit, 200 megabit, 500 megabit. Your business will need it. You're doing more online than you ever have before. And the best news that I've got for you is it doesn't necessarily have to cost you a whole lot more. Internet prices have been dropping because of improvements in the fiber infrastructure, and Signal Connect has been right on top of it. We partner with internet providers like AT&T to make sure that you can get reliable, solid business internet at a price that you can afford. And we can help you no matter where in the country you are. It's as simple as that. It only takes one call, my friends, to 888-233-5834. That's 888-233-5834. And we'll get the process started for you. We'll outline all of your options and give you the opportunity to choose the internet package that you deserve. Now is the time to do it. It's too late once your employees all get back and realize that they can't all be on Zoom at the same time. You don't want something like that happening. So call the experts at Signal Connect. And one last plug, and I apologize for this being a little bit more of a sales-oriented podcast. I do have to pay the bills. But it's not just for businesses. RV parks and marinas can also benefit from the expertise that you'll find at Signal Connect. One call does it all, 888-233-5834. That's it for me in the Solid Signal podcast. I'm hoping that by next week my voice will be back to 100% and that I'll be able to give you a rant, a loud, cranky podcast, which I know all of you love to listen to. Until then, like and subscribe. It makes me look good to my bosses. And make sure you leave a comment wherever you listen to this podcast so I know what you like and what you don't like, what you're interested in for future podcasts. Have a great week, and I'll see you again next time.